Tiffany is supposed to be here in about 5 minutes. Her and Charlie. Oh my god, my back is killing me. So they're gonna hopefully try to help me. Charlie is the guy who helped me wrap my kayak. Pardon me. Also here at the park yesterday, I'm sick of seeing all the foilies and stuff, so I put a note up on the message board. It sucks to think the kids are going in there to use the bathroom and there's burnt up foilies on the floor. Or parts and pieces to needles. Usually it's just the caps, which not too big of an issue, but sometimes it's not. Anyway, the corruption here, it begins with just disrespecting the homeless when they're being abused the first 2 or 3 times around. By that point, you've met most of the officers and you've been blown off by nearly all of them, and all the places that you're supposed to go to that are supposed to understand your disabilities and help you work with them won't listen. They've got their assumptions. They already know everything. And no, the fuck they don't. People need to stop listening to Autism Speaks. They don't speak for us. They don't hear us. Especially those of us who are high functioning. The police and the courts, and pretty much everybody else for that matter, treats us like we're idiots. And we're not. Asperger's is a different beast entirely. Most of us are intelligent. Highly intelligent. We're also used to getting talked over by idiots, which is frustrating. Of course it's frustrating. What was that? Oh, Hunter Biden indicted. Whatever that means. I'm just talking shit. Oh, alright, that was an odd notification. Goddamn, that hurts. I complain too much, right? Nah, I just believe in being honest. Most people will throw a tantrum if you're honest with them. They want you to lie to them when they ask you how your day is. Well, okay, I suppose I could do that. But really, if I was assaulted last night or had people beaten on my vehicle a month ago and I still have to see them and still have to listen to them screaming, or it's somebody who threatened me on multiple occasions, then tried to assault me, and then continues to threaten to assault me, that stuff sucks. And having a stalker like that guy from Hood River, that sucks too. It sucks that he didn't show up for court. But if he'd have shown up for court, he'd have probably gone to jail, because I got evidence of crimes that are not misdemeanors. And I brought that evidence to court too. I just didn't get to show it because Mr. Murphy didn't show up. So the judge didn't want to hear it. I can't change that. Someone calling himself Rick Anderson typed hello. Hello, Rick Anderson. The thing is, all of the cops here need to be checked. And all of the services here, too. We have way too many homeless people for such a small town, and we get to see where the services are going. It's going to, well, are they spending the money actually to get people unhomeless? In some cases, yes. In most cases, no. They're shoved into helping hands. Helping Hands just got a hell of a grant, as I hear it, about $500,000. That's a pretty significant amount of money. Is there anybody out there who can identify this? Just wondering, if you can, you're either into military hardware or you were in the Vietnam War. Alright, so, oh, obviously I'm overwhelmed, as always. Yeah, you really never know in a place like this when people are gonna take a grudge personal. That's what a grudge is, isn't it? Personal. And of course, get other people involved. And that's dirty business right there. The fact that autistic people are given such a bad rap already. And then you take intelligent people who are not low functioning. They're not the advertised autistic people that you see. You know, the one in the wheelchair that makes funny noises, or of course the one that hits their parents all the time. Yeah, we see those kids. That doesn't mean we are those kids, and it doesn't mean that it's okay to treat us like we're those kids. It doesn't make it okay to assume that we're going to get violent. We are a lot less likely to get violent, matter of fact. We are more likely to be the victims of physical assault because people know that they're more likely to get away with it. You just say, oh, well, you know, my kid's tough. You don't have any idea what it's like, and so on and so on. How dare you tell me how to raise my kid? We've all heard the spiel from people who beat on their children. I'm not talking about discipline. I'm talking about beatings. Oh. In a lot of places that I've been, people want to change the definition. Just change a couple of keywords here and there, depending on the gender of the victim. If it's a male victim, everybody blows us off. Before people caught on to how much I record, I had to listen to a lot of people telling me I just needed to man up. Or they had real police work to do, or variants of one of the two. That's entirely dismissive of the abuse that I endure, as well as my abilities and disabilities. It costs a lot of money to pay people to help. It also costs a lot of time for waiting on people that don't show up. Now, I have to set up an appointment, and then I have to go in alone to the appointment. I already know how it's going to work out. I'm going to be talked over. Very rarely is that not the case. But of course, the outcome is usually the same, isn't it? They'll talk over any major details that make it so they have to do their job. They just say, oh, well, I didn't hear you say it. Which is part of the reason that, well, of course, you get to hear in many of these conversations how people are talking over me. are trying to butt their little bit or piece, their little tidbit that they learned or read. Everybody knows how to manipulate. When somebody tries telling on one of your friends, a lot of times when you go to your friend and you tell your friend about abuse that you're taking from someone, you can tell if they like that person or if they have a crush on them, things of that nature based on their response. Or how much respect they actually have for you. We got a lot of really messed up people in the world, and that much is true, but that doesn't make it okay to harm them for being different. See, there's a difference between being different and being messed up. And when you say messed up, what kind of a descriptive of a person are you giving? Are you talking messed up physically? Are you talking messed up mentally? Are you talking as in they have brain damage from abuse? Or are you talking like they have homicidal tendencies? The same thing with the word mentally ill. See, if you call somebody mentally ill, you are calling them disabled. Which means that when they tell you that a crime has been committed, you need to take it seriously. But when that person is homeless, you're not going to take it seriously. And one of the first things you're going to jump to is drug use. Oh, you must be a druggie because you're homeless. All you homeless people are druggies. You must be a thief. All you homeless people are thieves. You must be the one pissing behind my bar in Chicago, Illinois right now. Man. And I don't mean that literally, but you know that a lot of people that get a hold of me on the internet, they've got some homeless person that they want to tell a story about that did something bad, right? Like, man, there's these guys who come up to my business and they just pull down their pants right there on the sidewalk. And, you have any idea how difficult it is to keep customers when you can't keep your sidewalks clean? And yeah, we get it. We also get the runs. You never know when it's going to happen. There's a lot of people who do mean stuff to the homeless, and there's a lot of people that don't. The ones that don't are the ones that I'm glad to be around most of the time. But then you get to tell whether they're a good person or not when somebody's being harmed. When somebody's actually being physically harmed or actually threatened physically in person. Yeah, I get loud. I also go back to my vehicle and I make sure that I stay loud. I make sure that I stay as loud as my assailant or aggressor. And if I have to get louder than them, I will. There's only so much bullying I'm willing to take. I'm a human being. Rick Anderson type, did you see Daniel Larson NYC13 here on YouTube? He's one of the craziest people I've seen here. He's actually blocked from my channel here. He was commenting on here earlier. A few days ago, actually. I cannot see what your picture is. It looks like two dogs cuddling almost. Or maybe a dog in a trash bag. I don't know, I can't tell, it's too small. Anyway, the chances of somebody here showing up, they're really not that great. I mean, people will show up, not usually on time, and often if they're on drugs or alcohol, or have addictions of that sort, they might not show up at all for a few 2 or 3 days. Rick Anderson typed, "It's my dog in front of my curtain." Oh, okay. Cute, I'm sure. I can't tell if it's cute or not because I can't see it. I've seen some ugly dogs. No lie. Yes, all animals are beautiful, but there are some ugly dogs out there. Oh, some of them are only cute because they're ugly, like a pug or a Pekingese. So, Rick Anderson, are you the guy who was saying that you were visiting your family here in Tillamook? I keep forgetting there's like a 30-second delay. So it takes a minute for people to reply. Oh. Oh. I want folks to take a good hard look at all of the money that's being spent on paying therapists who aren't going to do their jobs as mandated reporters. A lot of people who are here, they're lied to about what they have to do to make a police report. You know, I had to try to establish residency here in order to get any of that done. I didn't want to become an Oregon resident. I wanted to clear up all this illegal BS and go back home. There shouldn't have been any need to spend all of this money just to be able to be allowed to make a police report. And we've heard every single excuse, right? Oh, you have to be a resident of the county in order to do that. All right, well, how about once I'm a resident? Then what? So if a traveler coming through is held up at gunpoint and they're scared to be in their camper, what are you going to do? You're going to give them a piece of paper and tell them to get lost, basically, apparently. Oh, wait, no. You only do that to homeless people. You get to see that if a regular person in a house gets treated like a homeless person, all of a sudden everybody cares. Rick Anderson typed that with somebody else, I think. Yeah, I can go back and find out who it is because I have the screenshots of it. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Obviously, for me, having to rely on drug addicts because that's who I'm pawned off on, that sucks for me. They don't often show up. If they do show up, it's often too messed up to work, or they just want to get the money so they can dip out and feed their addiction. Now, some of them aren't like that, but those ones are usually busy trying to get something done for themselves, which is, feeding their addiction. I don't hate any of them for it. I just hate that it happens. I hate that it affects innocent people's lives. And I hate that those are the people that I have to rely on because the police are just going to bully me and treat me like I'm a drug addict. I don't do drugs unless you count pot a drug, and I do smoke pot. I don't hide it. I also don't like it. But living out here on the streets, people aren't going to give you a chance if they think you're a square. Some people will, but, it's a lot of people out here who have trauma of their own. When they say they're going to help, they may mean it at the time. But when it comes to actually following through, it's them going through the same hoops, but they're going through their hoops alone, and they'll cancel repeatedly because somebody that they talked to told them they got to jump through another hoop. It's insanity at its finest. Sorry, I'm trying to pop my ears. Now, the lady from the Seventh-day Adventist Church who feeds us most of the time, I didn't see her yesterday. She wasn't there. She usually is. Maybe she's mad at me. Who knows? We'll make it about me. That's one of my favorite things to do after somebody makes it about them and says something like, well, I didn't do it. Well, thank you very much. I'm well aware that you didn't do it. A lot of people can go through here and listen to the recordings with those people. And no, I don't have all of them up there. I have a lot of them recorded on audio recording devices, but it takes forever to get them downloaded and onto the computer. And then downloaded to YouTube. That's the part that takes forever. It takes a lot of pre-editing stuff that I did kind of sort of fumble through and learn how to do, sort of, but not really, if that makes sense. There's a conversation with Zach Richmond and one with Dallas Richmond that are that way. It took me almost a week to post up the one with Zach Richmond, but I did it. It took forever, and that's why I was in Hood River. It's not that I didn't try. It's that I'm victimized and bullied into leaving everywhere I go. After I've already been victimized and bullied by law enforcement, but I'm pretty well stuck in an area, I don't want to be there. I'm probably burning up my battery on this. Yep, I'm down to 51%. I also burn up a lot of gas trying to keep these things charged up and all that. Now, there's a lot of cops in town, and some of them are real nice. I get to hear that from a lot of different people, how nice some of the cops are. But not all of them. And nice doesn't mean good. If they give their friends special treatment and don't do their jobs, that's not a good cop. I don't care how nice they are to you. Some of these cops do talk nice. A lot of these places do talk nice. But what they don't understand is a person in a severe state of crisis, which is what I've been stuck with. I'm going to get out and see if Miss Tiffany's here and Mr. Charlie. She said be here at 11, so I'm here. It's 11. Oh. We'll go take a look. I'll also show you the sign I put up. I mean, I got sick and tired of seeing all the foilies here. All the needles and all that. Like, this is where kids go to play, you know? This isn't a place where people should be trashing up the bathroom with needles and foilies on the floor. Oh my God. That was a good stretch. Kind of in one of them rough spots. You know, most people assume that someone who's on the streets must be on drugs. So I have to deal with that. I also have to deal with the fact that people on the streets don't trust cops. So there's that. no matter what I do, I'm at odds with somebody. And if I say anything at all, I end up being at odds with everybody. When you find somebody who's easy to blame and doesn't cut you off from access to what you want, why not, right? I've seen people do this my entire life. Like, sure, he's my friend, but I'm an addict, and I'm not going to turn in my dealer kind of issues. I don't see Tiffany here yet. She said 11, so it's 11. I'm where she asked me to be, if that counts for anything. Usually it ends up being something where I'm just waiting on someone all day who's not going to show up. Once in a great while, somebody does show up. Now, more recently, because of the serious added stresses of having that stalker Murphy come back through here again, and he'll do it again, pretty well guaranteed. Thinks he's slick. I also hope Tiffany and Charlie are both safe, of course. Actually, I guess I'm over here by the Seventh-day Adventist, where they have some sort of help for hobos on Thursdays. They might be in line over there for clothes or something. I guess there's a car over there that could be theirs. I don't want to go over there because if I do, there could be issues. There's a lady there named Donna who's a pain in the ass. She's also the one that makes me feel unsafe going there, because if there's an issue, I can't trust her not to bully me. Does that mean I'm a dick? Of course I am. I don't give a shit about anybody's goddamn reputation. I give a shit about human lives. If that makes me a dick, well, that's alright. I already admitted to being a dick. I can pretend to be nuttier than squirrel turds, too. Alright, well, got a lot of trash in here. Whole lot of trash. I don't see Tiffany here, and of course I'm not 86 from the property over there, so there's no problem with that. It's an issue of, you know, if the staff there create a safety issue for me, that right there is what makes me not trust them. If I'm sent to a service where I'm not safe going to that service, it's better for me to not go. Alright, I don't see Charlie's car, and I don't see Tiffany, so I'm gonna, I guess, walk over there. Because realistically, I can only see 3 cars. It's kind of a busy road. Oh. There's a big news article, apparently, about a transient? That's a popular derogatory term. Transient. That means without a job. Yeah. I'm getting chased by a bee. Fucking stop, dude. I must smell good or something. Now I'm gonna think every little itch and scratch is a bug landing. I'm gonna need a hand free for the door. Nothing here but a line. Oh, I guess people I came to see aren't here either. I love going around in circles.
Yeah, how's that been?
Oh well. I didn't come here for the services, so y'all be safe.
God bless you.
He might have. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Well, Tiffany did watch a thing or two about the situation with Natalie Bollinger. Try to tell you, you should probably listen to me. That'd probably be a good idea. That's one of the biggest issues folks got, is wanting to talk over me and say there's nothing they can do. No, there is something you can do. See, the whole point of you going in with someone is for their safety. When you're sent somewhere over abuse that is supposed to assist you when you're being abused, yeah, have someone go with you so the people that you're having to go to don't fleece you, send you through a bunch of therapy. Who has to go through fucking 6 months of goddamn therapy before they're allowed to make a police report? Who's forced to jump through all of that? All of these places have room that they can allow somebody to use. All of them. It's whether or not they want to, and it shouldn't come down to that. It should come down to need. I get that there are more important crimes going on. I mean, this place has got a shit ton of deaths for the number of people that live here. Now, let's see. The lady said she was going to be here at 11. She has not showed up yet. It is only 11:30 though. This stuff sucks. I'll show you the sign I made. It makes me feel like you're special. You've probably seen on some of my other videos where there's foilies in the bathroom. So I made a sign that says, "Can we have this one park free from needles and foilies? I know it hurts, but kids play here. Impressionable youth. You don't want them harmed or addicted too." And of course, I taped it up all Podunk, Nebraska style with cheap electrical tape. There was a sign up there for a man that was missing, but it ended up getting too faded to read. I tried to post it up a couple of times, I just couldn't get the internet to work at the time. Anyway, I suppose in the interest of not wasting all my battery, I should probably turn off the worldwide interwebs here and try to charge up my phone a little bit. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and your sister's too, and no victim left behind.